We're going to do this project a little differently than we did the other ones. This one is, we're just going to talk through the wiring part of it. And first of all, you should find in your wiring kit a breadboard like the one right here. And then listen to this video that is this URL right here. The very first one especially, the basics, how to build a circuit from a circuit diagram. And we're going to talk through this project right here. And we have a red wire, we have a yellow wire, and we have a black wire. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to go from the L plus on the top of our PLC out to a push button on the breadboard. One would be for the mustard, one would be for the ketchup, and then we're going to come back through a yellow wire, which is like a signal wire, to either .0 or .1, and then we'll follow these wires back. And also we're going to do a jumper between the M and the 1M. So we're going to do that on the breadboard. I'm going to show it to you here, and then we're going to test it out. Now, one of the things you're going to have is you're going to have this little push button, and you have 10 of these, I believe, in your kit. And you're going to have to put them on the breadboard. And here's the picture of I put these on the breadboard. But you notice that there is a gap, that there's these 5 holes, and there's one row of 5, and then you skip a row, and then you land in the second row. So there's a row in the middle between them. So when you put these down, this is that little valley in the middle between the two sets, and here's that little valley it goes between right here. So when you put them down, you're going to hit one, skip the next one, and then the second one you're going to hit. Okay, and the same way on the other side. Now if you do that, what you're going to do is if you put power in on one side, then you're going to get power, you're going to get voltage on the other side when you push the button. So that's what you're going to see. Now also you should have some wire. Just go and get a little bit of wire, not a lot, but a little bit, of yellow, red, and black. About a foot of each, 1.5 feet. Now when you take the insulation off the end of a wire, don't go too far back. About 1/4 inch is all it should show of the bare wire. If you go too far back with your wire strippers, you're going to have a bare wire that's sticking out from under a terminal, and these wires could touch each other and that could mess you up. So don't do that. Okay, now the first thing you do is you make a short jumper with the black wire that is going to go between the M and the 1M, about a couple of inches long, not too long, but about 1/4 inch on each end. You take off the insulation. And then you put that on the actual, under the terminal block, under the terminals. Use your screwdriver and you tighten it down so you can't pull that out between the M and the 1M right there. Okay? Then you wire the rest of it. Now this one is basically, all you got to do is bring the red wire over, and then you bring it, as you can see here, to this row of terminals on the breadboard by the red. That's your plus side, okay? And then you go from that plus side over to the one side of the button, and then from the other side of the button you go to the input to the program controller. So this one goes to I0.0, okay? And this one over here goes to I0.1. So one is ketchup and one is mustard. Now if you've never done this before, this is kind of interesting, and you will get it. Just take your time and you'll get this, you'll get it. Okay, now if you push the button and you've got the power on to your program controller, if you push the button you're going to see the little LED, the little green light turn on the top of the program controller. That's the indication that you've done it right. If you push the button, no light, something's wrong. Okay, so here we've got the wire to I0.0, and here we've got the one to I0.1. And you'll see those two lights as you push those buttons come on. So now we're going to go over to the program controller side, and we're going to see if we can get this thing to run. So now we're going to bring up the program and the program controller, And what do we have to do here? Well, I've got the program from before that you had, and that program had a button that was tied to a screen. Now we're going to change that. We're going to go over here and we're going to right click on this and we're going to rewire it. And instead of going to global memory, we're going to go to global input. And that's the first one is catch-up, and it's going to go to I0.0. So we actually changed it from an M bit to an I bit. I0.0. Click change. And when we do that, we should see it change not only here, but where else did you do that? You did it down here, didn't you? And you did it both places. So you'll see it change in both places. You see it down here and up here. Okay? Now down here is the other one. This is the other button that we did. Rewire, and we, again, global memory, change that to global input. Click change. Okay? Now, you notice that it changed down here as well. Now these other bits are internal bits and they do not change. They're internal bits in the program. But these are our two inputs coming in from the various inputs that we have. Now we compile. Download. So this is the first of two labs where we're just going to wire some stuff. We already built the hot dog counter, and we already built the traffic light. Next one we're going to do it with the traffic light, and there's a lot of outputs with that one. We're going to take our time. We're going to build a bunch of outputs from that one. So that's what's coming, and then after that we're going to work with matrices, arrays. And then after that, we're going to have a motor, and you're going to turn a motor. And then after that, we're going to start with working with the algorithms for the Rubik's Cube. So this is, it's coming quick. We're not going to dally around very much, but we're going to learn a few more things before we need a few more tricks before we can actually start programming that Rubik's Cube. But we're not far away. We're not that far away from being able to do that. So hopefully you're getting a little bit ready for that. Okay. So the USB, and then let's go right here with PNIE, and then we say search devices with the same address, and we want, instead of the same address, we want the this one right here, we want to say all accessible addresses, all accessible ones. So we're kind of slow today. This is Monday. The little hourglass thing spins quite a lot today, so we're having to wait just a little bit. But we're getting there. Okay. So we're going to download here in a minute and see if we can get this thing to run. To be blunt, I should have tried to have it ready to go beforehand, but this is exactly how you're going to see it. So we'll just wait and watch it go ourselves. Okay. Sometimes this hourglass thing takes forever. The spinning takes forever. So it found this one. Okay, now I'm going to say up here, instead of this, the same addresses, show all compatible devices, and hopefully that will, and then we can say start search down here. If this doesn't light up, we gotta, maybe I should have just clicked on this and say start search. Anyway, now okay, start search. There you go. This is it. Now I can load. Now we're in business. Okay, load. Sometimes you just got to kick it, right? You just got to kind of kick it to get it going. But anyway, when that turns to orange, you know that it saw it. We're close. When you see the orange, you know we're close. All right, now it's going to finish loading, and then we're going to go online, and then we're going to try these buttons. We're going to see this puppy count. So you kind of have to hold these buttons down just a little bit because they're kind of fragile. They're not very secure, but that's the best we got. Now we do have more substantial buttons at the university, and we wire those up, and they're a little bit more substantial, but they're a little bit much to send out for a kit. And this is they work the same. The push buttons work the same. Either they're open or they're closed. And this is a case in point. We just have to wait and get this thing to go. But there are different types of push buttons, but they all are input devices, and that's all you got to worry about is you push the button, and that's it. Okay, so we are ready to go online, and we are okay. Check before loading. See, I forgot to compile, so it's compiling and doing all that now. And then I say continue without synchronization. Have to answer the red, the pink, stop all, load. So I got ahead of myself, but it works the same. Loading configuration. This is the longest part of this lab, watching this thing load. It's a quick lab in many ways, but in other ways there's a lot here, getting you used to using the breadboard. And if you watch that video is really very good, better than I could ever do, in explaining all the parts and pieces of a video of a breadboard. So let's go now and go online. And the glasses. Okay. Now watch what happens when I push this button. There's the one button. See that? It sealed the mustard. And this is the other one. I'm pushing the other one now. Okay, now it pushed it and it sealed it. Now what did I do? What happened there? Why didn't it turn on? Do I have a typographical error? I0.0. Okay, when I push the buttons, oh, I know what I did. These should be normally closed. So I made an error. I have an error down here. So I got to go back and fix it. Okay, so I got to go back and I got to go into the program again and go offline. So to fix this, I got to go offline. These have to be normally closed. So in other words, I've got to change this from a normally open to a normally closed. In order to do that, I come over here. Nope, I go right here. And I should be able to right there change it to a normally closed. Do you see what I did? I go right up in the right-hand corner, the little orange thing, and I pick up the other one. So now I have the normally closed. So what happens is I have to push the buttons, and then they have to lift off both the buttons, and then it'll work. That's the trick there on that one. So here, I got to go back now and compile. It should work faster this time. And then I download. And it should work, hopefully, after I made that silly error. So let's try it here and see if we can go online. And see if we get the glasses. Okay, so let's see what we got. Oh, I've got these backwards too, so I've got to go back and I've got to change these to normally closed. That's another goof that I made. Boy, today I'm rusty. So let's go back, go offline, change these as well to normally open. So we now have changed these to normally close and these to normally open. Try that and see if it works. See if we get it. See if we get it this time. Go online, glasses. Make sure we downloaded. Load. Finish. And go online, we're online, download, see what we've got. Okay, so now let's push it again. See if we, okay, so we push one, it seals, push the other one, and it turns on. Now we should count two. We're already up to 2, so let's just do it again. See if we can go to 3, 1, the other, 3, and we have a successful program. So we're working. So after all that, we finally got it to work. So that shows you that, first of all, that I can make mistakes. Second of all, that the buttons here, we had to go and change them around a little bit, but it does work, and it's counting up with buttons from the breadboard. So hopefully you have a good rest of the day, and we'll rack them up again tomorrow, and we'll do another one. Take care and have a good day. We'll see you. Bye.